Hello everyone and welcome to the Melia Movement podcast. This is a podcast that brings reality, it brings real stories and it brings real people into the limelight of you watching this. I want to spread awareness that us normal people do go on these journeys and come out the other end succeeding in life. Every single guest that I have on this show has been through something in life and now is doing absolutely truly incredible things. I want to share their journey and exactly how they get there. Big love, and as always, Melia fucking movement, baby.
Melia movement, baby.
Dan?
Yes, bro.
Welcome, brother.
Nice to finally meet you.
I know, man. Dan has become like my cyber best pal that we have.
So true.
We've just connected on a mad level, same as KD that you would have watched the previous week. So, mate, fucking unbelievable to have you down and finally meet her.
Yeah, so buzzing for it. I was buzzing this morning coming until Katie lost her phone on the way. I was like, fuck's sake.
Such a smooth morning there's a bump in the road.
I was trying to get higher my vibration before I got here. I was like, fuck.
The amazing thing about this now is that I'm really, really going to get to know. So I see you as a close pal, and definitely in the future, we've connected on a mad level. So I'm really going to learn about you today, and the Dan that I see, and I'm excited for it. We've got through in contact with each other through Katie, and she said that you was on your journey. I was like, oh, okay. So then we got in contact, and your content you're putting out there is relatable to society these days. I know you say I've done well in coaching in my first year, but when you do put you out there, I know you're going to hit the ground running 100%. You're not like me, just like I was rushed and I went to do it, but you've planned everything perfectly, and hopefully this podcast is going to be the start of people watching this, and you know, you're having a massive honest impact in the coaching world. You are an amazing human, same as a missus, and that's why I've connected with you both so well, because it's so rare to come across energy now that is similar. And that's why I was like, right, we need to get this sorted. So thank you again for coming down.
Thanks for having me.
No, and thank you for coming into my life, both of you. So all of my guests, I asked them Little Dan and why you are Big Dan today and why you're going to be going into the coaching world.
Right. Okay, so Little Dan, Child Dan, always known as a young, cheeky chappy, to the family. So extrovert to the family, I would say, and an introvert when I was in public to start off with. I was a bit of a geek, to be honest. I loved when I started my school journey. I'd always be in a book, always being creative, always drawing. I can remember me like at 6, like copying Van Gogh's pictures and like fucking colouring in and all this shit. As a young Dan, but at home, in my home life, I come from, I suppose it's your stereotypical success story family. Mum and dad still together, blessed. Like my nan and granddad still together. My other nan and granddad were still together. I come from that structure.
That's exactly the same as mine.
Society's definition
That's
of
why you connected
success.
our parents together.
So I had that definition of success from a young age. And within my family, I was the oldest of 3. And I was always the carer of the other 2 youngsters. And and then school was a little bit different for me. I struggled with school from a young age. I suffered with anxiety from as young as 7. It started out when I was actually 5 years old. So I still remember it to this day, but my dad took me to, we was at Centre Parks, and there was a comet called Halley's Comet. And he said to me, you'll only ever see that once in your life, son. And I realised that at that point, at 5 years old, that everyone dies. And I really struggled with it at 5 years old, and it created this huge anxiety and this fear of loss. So I was a scared kid from as young as 7. But I didn't know what anxiety was, but anxiety plagued me. and developed me not being able to fit in, and I started creating masks for, as I say, from as young as 7 years old. Try and fit in with the football boys, or try and fit in with whatever club that I could try and do, but I never really found my niche. I got to secondary school, got a choice at secondary school. I passed my exams to go to grammar school, but my dad offered me an option. He said, you can either go to grammar school. He went, I reckon you'll be middle of the road, son. You won't be the most intelligent, but you won't be the thickest. So you'll be right in the middle. Or you can go to a comprehensive and you can be the top of your class.
Yeah.
So at the time, I suppose I felt that if I went to the comprehensive and I was the top of my class, that would make people like me and
big fish, small pond.
Yeah, and immediately fit in. But yeah, it didn't quite work out that way. Started out in a pretty small secondary comprehensive all-boys school, and it was all fighting to be the alpha male. Right from day one, it was quite toxic. I had a group of friends that I would call, like, we were like the in-betweeners. We didn't fit in any sort of like I don't know, like we weren't cool, but we weren't completely and utterly a geek, but we were just in that middle grey area.
Super bad.
Yeah, that was it. Not really understanding how to talk to women whatsoever, and I was doing really well up until I was like, I suppose like year 7, year 8, and then the cooler kids hit puberty. I was a late developer. So, like you said before, I was probably about 4 foot.
I got rinsed for that. I didn't think I got my first period until probably last week.
No. And I remember one summer, I was at my mum all summer. She used to have this catalogue, you know, like the Littlewoods catalogue. There was a French version I think she used to get called La Redette or something like that. Anyway, it was this bright yellow Nike puffer jacket, and I was fucking obsessed with it. I kept circling it, handing it over to my mum. And my birthday come at late September, and I've got this beautiful Nike yellow puffer jacket, and I got to school. I wore it in October. I think it was still sunny, but I was like obsessed with this jacket. Got to school, and I stood out like a fucking sore thumb. And for that moment onwards, I was known as Pikachu. I was 4 foot, yellow puffer jacket, a little bit overweight, and I just put a target on my back from that point. I was doing really well in maths, English, and I just become the butt of everyone's. I can take it now. I did look like fucking Pikachu. Yeah. I didn't really help myself, but from that point on, I was bullied very severely, and which would play out a lot in later life. And I suffered my first suicidal thought when I was 13.
Fucking hell.
So, didn't tell anyone about that. That was, didn't take it home to my mum. My dad, as I said, I was the oldest sibling. And I felt like I was the protector of them too. So I couldn't openly speak about what the fuck, why am I thinking about fucking killing myself at 13 years old? Yeah. So couldn't speak to anyone. And the comprehensive school that we were in then got shut down. And they wanted to change it into like a college or something. And we got transferred over to another comprehensive school, but it was mixed. Which I was quite excited about. I've never really seen girls at that period of time. I'd looked at them again, probably in the Littlewoods catalogue, and but I haven't really fucking seen them in real life. So I was buzzing to get to this girls' school. But immediately, the pecking order of that year had been sort of stabilised, and I come in right at the bottom.
Yeah.
And because we were the new boys into this mixed comprehensive, we were the bullying. I thought I'd get a fresh start, a clean slate.
Worse.
It worked out completely different. I remember from day one, I was sitting in a maths class and we got put down the front. No boy wants to sit at the front of the fucking class. I got put down the front, and I'd done well in a test, and it was advertised to the whole fucking class right at the beginning of the fucking class, and I was getting bananas chucked at the back of my head and everything, and I was just like, fuck, what have I done? Like, what? I don't know how to get out of this. So I started not playing up, but I started not doing anything. I started not actually doing well on purpose. Like, I was actually fucking ignoring everything, like not telling mum, not doing my fucking homework, not doing anything. So I stopped being who I was, the person that was doing quite well. Instead, I took a step away.
Cunt. So now I was bullied the fuck out at school for my height, and my mum and dad didn't really have a lot of money growing up.
Yeah.
And they were grafters, mate. My mum and dad would go and clean in the morning, go and do a full day's work, then take us, me and my brother, because I had to clean in the evening. Like, they grafted to give me fucking everything. And you just get them cunts that just fucking tear you every day.
Yeah.
Every day without fail, they would tear you and tear your shirt. So I don't sit here and think, I don't understand like I do, bro. I hate it. I'd go home, have this massive front, everything's all right. And in hindsight, crying inside, man. Lonely bus ride. My bus ride home from school was about an hour and 20 minutes. Mate, lonely thoughts. Like, you're just going through it, just like, everyone hates me.
It was so fucking hard at that age where, to be honest, at the time, all I wanted was a girlfriend. Yeah. Like, at that age, I was like, I saw my parents grow up, and they met, and like, mum just come out of school and all that, and I'm chasing love, and that's then still giving me the bigger target on the back, because I'm trying to chase young women, and I'm this 5'0" little plump lad who's being severely bullied, and I couldn't tell anyone. I couldn't tell my mum, couldn't tell my dad, couldn't tell anyone. I had no one to fucking speak to.
Did you have many friends at school?
Yeah, I had a small group, but it was small. It was really small.
Did you try and talk to them, or were they just obviously aware of what was going on?
I think, to be honest, I think I hid it again because I was accepted by... There was a guy called Brad, and I was accepted by him, and he was my best mate, and...
no, accepted by me, Brad. I'm your best mate.
Yeah. So I didn't want to tell people like that because I've been accepted by one or two people.
Yeah.
And I felt like if I shared any vulnerability there, it's gone. So yeah, I really struggled through school and my younger years, all the way up till I was about 16. I would have thought. Did
them negative suicidal thoughts stay with you?
They went. And they would show up a lot later, but they went for a while. I found sport. I was quite good at football, so football I was accepted because I was quite good at that. But again, that was a toxic male environment from as young as I can remember, where if you're doing well, you're loved, and if you're doing shit, you're fucking hated.
Yeah.
So, yeah, football was my only saving grace, but yeah, it was. Even then, I was scared to. Remember being in PE, being in the changing rooms after a football game. I wouldn't go in a fucking shower. I'd pretend to have a shower, and then I'd fucking go home and have a shower.
Yeah,
because I didn't want anyone to see me. Like fucking
give them
naked.
When you do it, you overthink everything. Like, I used to even overthink getting up from my chair to go to the toilet because I was so nervous in case there was an interaction before, or I'd done something stupid, or I tripped up or something, and I'd put myself through so much emotional pain because of these fucking cunts.
Yeah. I remember that what topped it all off was I really got into, it was a subject, I don't think they do it anymore, but it was called graphic tech. And it was all I wanted to do. I was really creative. I spoke about drawing, and all I wanted to do was fucking create. And basically we had this one project that was to design to scale a piece of architecture. Anyway, I was secretly behind the scenes. I was a bit of a geek. I loved Marvel comic books, DC comic books, WWE or F at the time. Anyway, I made to scale a WWF arena in London, and I made it, and I spent all my. I used to do an egg round when I was about 14.
Yeah.
Saved all my egg round money to make this fucking scale model. We got it to school. It was, even though I'm saying it now, I can still picture it. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I took it to school, and we put it in this, like, for show. And it was the evening where it was all going to be revealed. I've come back in the next day to, like, get it prepped or whatever, like, to put it on a stand. And it had been fucked and graffitied all over. You little fucking cunt. I wish you died.
No way.
Like, it was broken. It was fucking destroyed. Like, 3 months worth of work, and it really fucked me up.
And money.
Yeah, it really fucked my head up. Like, that was when I decided to start rebelling. With life, I started skipping school. Then it just took it didn't take a turn for I wouldn't say it took a turn for a worse, but it was a defining moment for me that for me to be accepted in life, I will just have to not be me and try and fit in any way or shape or form I can. And the only way to fit in was to be a prick. So I'm going to start being a prick.
Yeah, same as me. 100%.
I need to toughen up. If someone hits me, I'm going to hit them harder. And I'd start punching back. So, yeah, after that moment, we got into... I got an option to go to sixth form. I took it. I think I turned up for sixth form once in a year. And my mum worked in the school next door and as a special needs support teacher. And all the fucking teachers kept threatening me. I was like, do whatever you fucking want. I don't give a fucking shit. Yeah. My mum and dad then clocked me smoking weed, I think, up an alley around the side of school.
Fuck's sake.
And my dad was just like, right, if you're not going to do that, like, let's go and get you a job. So yeah, that was pretty much up to my sort of teenage years. It was just
mental. Them suicidal thoughts, 'cause it's so common in teenagers now.
Yeah.
So you see kids ending their life because of being bullied at school. How did you cope with them if you didn't talk to anyone?
Not very well, mate. To be honest, I suppressed every single fucking emotion and feeling. And started the journey of bottling up trauma. Trauma didn't get any easier, but I think the problem with bottling up those type of feelings and those type of traumas throughout your life is they start to play out in later life, and you attract those situations again and again and again. Massive. But they come in different forms. I was bullied at work by my dad at 70, I was 17, said, go and get a job. Like, do you want to... He didn't say it like aggressively, but he said, you can do look what I did. I come out of school at 15 and I started out at the bottom and I built myself up to be this.
Yeah.
You know, that success story he wanted to show. So I was like, okay, I'll go and get a job. And I got a job in a bank. I didn't want to fucking do a bank. I was not cut out to be in a bank. But because I was quite cheeky by then, everyone thought, oh, it'd be great at front of house. Like, put me in front of house, like, everyone's going to fucking love him. So, yeah, I got a job that I didn't want to fucking get. And there was a lady called Carol, and I don't know where I've distorted this vision of her, but I always picture her now, because I was still quite small. I don't really have my growth spurt, but I still picture her as like 6 foot and like warts on her face and stuff like that. But she fucking bullied me, like, emotionally.
No way.
She was like, I can't explain it, but it was like, one day she would be super fucking nice to me, and then next day she would be a cunt. Can we say that?
Yeah, say what the fuck you want. Have you seen his host in this fucking thing?
Yeah, and I was being bullied again, but didn't realise I was being bullied. It was such a
It's
weird...
emotional abuse, mate.
Yeah.
Trust me. So people do like 3 days nice to you, then they'll do one horrible, like, and you don't realise they're doing it. Then they're all right, then they're cunts.
Yeah, it was... it was a hard thing, but I'd started doing well in my career. She moved on after a few years. I started doing well. My crowd of friends was pretty good. I was in a group of in-betweeners. Like, my friends will not mind me saying that.
Yeah.
We don't fit into the popular or the geeks. We were middle of the road.
Just do your own thing.
And we're fucking happy with it.
Yeah, sick.
So I felt like I was pretty content. And then I found my first proper relationship. I was... I suffered domestic violence at the age of like 22, 23. Okay.
Just take a minute if you need it, mate.
Yeah. So I always had this dream. The definition of success was to meet a girl young. And I met a girl on a night out. I was introduced by my brother's friend to this girl, and we got in a relationship. I was warned at the start, and I continued to sort of go down that path.
Head first. Red flag. Come here, son.
Yeah. I'll take it. Because I felt like that was a way to make my family proud. I've got the job that I never wanted. I've now got a relationship.
Final piece in the jigsaw.
Yeah. The relationship was quite fiery, but could be mistaken for passion. And after sort of a year and a half, it started to play out that, the big one was on a night out. We went for my brother's birthday up to London, the West End. We was all like happy, excited. Got into this place. I think it was called like Ruby Blue or Ruby Bar or something like that in the West End. Got there, and I'm not a very good fucking drinker anyway. I am a lightweight. I had a couple of drinks, but I was genuinely just fucking dancing and enjoying myself in the middle of this dance floor. Anyway, we're all in this big group, and this bouncer just comes, touches me on the side and says, "Mate, you're fucking too drunk, you got to get out." And I was like, "Mate, I'm not drunk." Like, I genuinely wasn't, but I was just acting like a prick on the dance floor, like smacking out the robot and stuff. And he's like, he chucks me out this front of this club, and he went, "Look, there's a Burger King over in Leicester Square there. Go and get yourself a coffee, come back in half hour, and I'll let you back in." So I was like, okay, I'll go and get myself a coffee, come back, and my girlfriend at the time, she is standing at that door waiting for me, and her face was fucking livid with me. And I was like, right, I'm not drunk, so don't worry. She went, "You've made a fucking fool of me." I was like, right, but you know I'm not drunk. I was having a dance and laughing with my mates. And she went, "Nah." And she just stared at me in the eye, and she went, "You wait till we get home." I was like, what? Okay, so we went back, they let me in. So we carried on with our night out, and she seemed totally content then. It seemed like it all switched off. And we was all walking back to the train station, but me and her, Charing Cross, me and her were at the back of the people walking in front. There's probably about a group of 10 of us. And she turned around and just smacked me square in the face.
Fuck off.
Out of nowhere. I was pissing with blood. I didn't expect it. I was pissing with blood everywhere. And I fell to the floor, like on the back of the railings.
Yeah.
I fell to the floor. And she just walked off like nothing had happened. And I was just pissing out with blood everywhere. I was like, what the fuck has just gone on? So next morning, she apologises. She said she was drunk and sorry and all of this stuff. It was because of the past and X, Y, and Z. We had a good another month or so without any...
Did you just give a benefit of the doubt?
Benefit of the doubt, and didn't tell anyone, although my brother did know. But he didn't know how to... He's my younger brother. He don't know how to fucking take that situation.
Did that match the warnings that you got before the relationship started?
Yeah. I was always... Because I'd never settled for anyone, I'd never really had girlfriends. I was always told I was picky and that I needed someone fiery. Like, you need someone to calm you down. Like, yeah. But that was a mask. I weren't being calm because that's how I felt like I needed to be accepted. But I was this prick. You would accept me.
So true.
Yeah.
I was the same. My mum was like, when are you going to get someone to fucking tame her?
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, okay, so this girl is the fieriest girl I've ever fucking met. Like, she's the one. So, yeah, that... Then the next year was on, off, behind the scenes. I would have domestic violence. Different types of scraps. And there was one time I was severely ill, and I remember we had an ensuite at my mum and dad's house, and me and her were in bed. I was like, fucking hell, I don't feel well. I really don't feel well. I've got really bad stomachache. She went, shut up, just let me fucking sleep. Like, stop fucking making a meal out of it and all of this. You're milking it and man up, toughen up, all that bullshit. And I was like, oh, fucking hell, I was so bad. Anyway, I wrapped around this toilet. I was bleeding, I was vomiting blood, and then I had to fucking cry for fucking help. My mum stormed in and was like, Jesus Christ, why have you let him be like this? We need to get a fucking ambulance out. It turned out, I got to the hospital, it turned out I had severe food poisoning that resulted in me tearing my stomach tissues and all my stomach lining.
From being sick?
And like, so I got put on like a fucking drip and stuff, and I got kept in hospital for like 48 hours. But she accused me of dramatising that situation and like that I wasn't ill and all that shit. It then accumulated in... It was so fucking bad, this relationship, that she pretended that she had... It was only going one way now. It was coming to the point where it was going to explode. But she cheated on me with a guy that was gay, that I was told was her gay friend from work. He wasn't gay, but that my dad saw her and her gay friend on my bed.
Your dad saw that?
The dad come in, and I remember him ringing me. It was like, but he's got another boy on your bed. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was at work. So, yeah, the relationship ended shortly after that. Thank God. And the scars that it left me, along with the bullying, were really fucking hard.
She used to hit you a lot?
Yeah. It's... I've never spoken about this. Like, I've spoken about a lot of things of late, but I really struggle with this part. It's it left me completely broken, completely fucking broken. So yeah, picked myself up, dusted myself down again. You're better off without a dad. All of that stuff, which I knew were all true, but it was like, you shouldn't be fucking crying about her. Like, I never grieved it. I never grieved either like the abuse or spoke about the abuse. And I never grieved the loss of that relationship, because that relationship was my ticket to success, or what I defined as success. So I never grieved the loss of that. And I started drinking heavily, like really heavily. I had never done drugs, apart from weed when I got caught, and then I pulled a whitey. I'd never fucking done drugs. So I was at age 24, 25, and I went back to a friend's house from where the place I worked. I went back to a guy's house that we worked with. There's a group of 6 lads, and we've all been out for a few beers and come home, and there's white powder all over the fucking tops. And I'm like, what the fuck's that? And he's like, it's cocaine, Dan. Like, just that, as if it was normal. And I was like, what's it do? Really curious. Oh, it makes you, imagine you, but better. And then more hyper, like more like you can talk to any fucking woman. Like, imagine that person. I was like, all right, fucking give it to me. So I took cocaine, and I was like, fucking hell, this is like fucking superpower.
Yeah.
I remember I'd been up till 6 a.m. I went to work next day. I was like, fucking hell, like, I need more of that. What the fuck is that? So for the next 24 months, I become the party playboy of the area that I lived in. No one knew about everything that happened. I had now become this person that I started dressing better. I was going to the right raves. I was in with a drug dealer at the time. I had what they would define as a cool crowd of friends, like the guys in the corner at the rave that you all thought, oh, fucking hell, they're cool.
Yeah.
Like, I was one of them now. And I was like, I'm part of something. This makes me part of something. And the friends that I did originally have, Brad, that I spoke about at school, I started to put that on the back burner because he didn't really drink, and I really respect him for that. But I wanted more of this magic fucking drug. I could speak to a million girls, and all that was playing out for me, the abuse I suffered, I was then taking it out on women. I was treating them like a fucking bag of shit. I was like I was doing what every boy talks about when they're 19, 20. I'm just going to get that. I'm going to pull that girl, I'm going to get her home, and then that's gone. And this cycle just continued for a good 24 months. But along with it, I was creating this mask of a party boy. I wasn't a party boy. I've never been a fucking party boy. I don't know how to party. So I was creating this mask behind the pain of the abuse and the bullying, and with the help of cocaine. And my cocaine habit went from your classic, call it in on a Friday night when you get home from work, to I need it on a fucking Monday morning just to go to fucking work.
Fucking hell. After being on it all weekend.
Yeah, it wouldn't stop. And the only day, actually, that's a lie. The only day I wouldn't ever do it is a Sunday, because Sunday is sacred to me. So I was like, nah, you can't do it on a Sunday. It's fucking sacred. But any other day of the week, Sunday's family day. You can't do it. You can't do cocaine on Sunday.
Fucking logic in that.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, obviously, that's an expensive habit to have.
Yeah. Tick, or did you pay for it?
I paid for it. I worked in a bank. I was running out of money. I was in debt. I was in a lot of debt.
Yeah.
I was running out of money. I started stealing from the bank to pay for my habit. But I was in a good position and I could mask it. And I was crying out for help, and no one could see me because I had to hid my feelings since I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
With anxiety. No one could see it. It was like a massive fucking cry for help. And I remember Mum and Dad used to have this bar at the back of the garden which they called Stumpies, and it was about 11 a.m. in the morning. I hadn't gone to bed yet. I'd sat in that bar on my own all night. My mum and dad and my brothers were away. They went away for a couple of days. Anyway, I was just coming up the back of the garden and I was still drinking a beer, coming up from the bar, coked up my eyeballs, 11 a.m. in the morning, and I saw my fucking parents and my brother in that fucking house, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's 11 a.m, chuck the bottle. Got in there and it was like an intervention, and I lost my fucking shit. My anger just come out. I was like, you're all fucking liars, you don't fucking know nothing, I don't fucking do drugs, like, I just fucking went, I was fucking livid with my brother at the time. I was like, how dare you fucking accuse me of all of this? But he was right, I needed help.
Did they come back early?
Yeah.
On purpose?
I think so. They never tell me.
No. Sly bastards.
No, they fucking caught me red-handed. Bastards in their own house. How dare they?
Drinking their beer.
Yeah, drinking their beer. So yeah, it was that. Basically, I was now banging. I was in trouble.
Yeah.
The problem with the whole of these 2 years is I wanted to die every single day of them 2 years. I would wake up in the morning from a night out with my friends, and like I might have pulled a nice girl the night before, and everything that society says or a group of lads says should make you happy. A woman, Arsenal winning a football game, loads of fucking beers, drugs, you've been to a great rave. They weren't making me happy. I just wanted to kill myself.
Yeah. Fuck. Goosebumps.
It got to Christmas, and I remember I was like dating some girl at the time, to mask that, to actually say to my parents, look, I'm okay actually, but secretly I didn't even tell her. I was still taking loads of drugs behind that. And yeah, it got, and my whole thought throughout the whole December was, I'm planning it. I am going to commit suicide. So yeah, the only reason for me doing it in that month was because I just wanted one more Christmas with my mum and dad. So it's like, one more Christmas. They deserve one more Christmas with me, and then I'm out. So got to Christmas, Boxing Day, done the family thing that I got through. I don't know how, can't even really remember that time of my life. Then got to New Year's Eve, had a big night out with friends, and it was like my way of saying goodbye. Was up till 9 a.m. the next morning, still doing the same shit that I'd done for the last 2 years, abusing myself. Because like, I've become so accustomed to abuse.
It's just a norm.
Yeah, I needed to abuse myself to feel normal. Yeah, and then New Year's, 2nd of January, so I'd done New Year's Day, family again. And said goodbye to my mum, told her I loved her. Went to this girl's house because I wanted a trail so that everyone wouldn't know where I was. So it looked like I could have been there or could have been there. So my idea was, I could still remember my plan. If I had visited this girl's house and I'd been with my mum and dad up until the evening, no one would if I just walked into the darkness now, no one would know where I went.
Yeah.
So anyway, I went to my drug dealer on the way to hers, picked up, I think it was like 3 or 4 grams, picked up 2 bottles of vodka.
Is this a mate as well that was a drug dealer?
Yeah.
And he was just letting you take it as much as you
Yeah,
needed?
because and he was like, well, it sounds fucked. He knows I was using it. But yeah, he just kept fucking letting me. And then...
Cunt.
And then, yeah, I picked up loads of tablets, various different tablets. I definitely had enough to see me off. And then I drove all the way to the coast, because the coast was I left this girl's house, drove all the way to the coast, and I remember at the wheel, I had a bottle of vodka in the well of the car. It was a good hour and a half drive from South East London. I was driving down the A2, drinking this bottle of vodka, like recklessly, like just, I don't care what happens now, just take me. Got all the way to the coast, parked in this little road that overlooked the sea, and just took the whole fucking lot in like half an hour. Everything I had, I took. Anyway, I've woken up next morning, it didn't fucking work. And I realised that I've attempted to kill myself. And I'd written a suicide note, and I left it in the glove compartment of this hire car.
So
I was so fucked up. I actually lied on it and said that some things may come out about me, but I was made to do them, and I didn't want my mum and dad knowing that how much trouble I'd got myself in. Yeah, so I lied in the suicide note, but just told them that I loved them and it was not their fault. I'm just not meant to be here. Like, I can't. I said, I'm sorry, but I don't deserve to be here anymore. And I have no purpose anymore. Fucking hell, man. So, yeah, I woke up the next day and I was like, fuck, I've fucked up here. I've got to go home. And as I started going home, I felt like I can make this up. I can go and sort everything out. And as I was driving home, I tried to... I hopped like 10 feet, I don't know how long, but I was like, no, I don't want to go home. I want to die. Like, I want to die. So remember, it's middle of winter, it's snowing. And I've tried to, as I've gone down this country road, it's like hill, I've tried to steer the car off, but it ran out of petrol. So it just, instead of like crashing into a bush, it just went, I was like, fuck, now I've got no petrol. On the way there, I chucked my phone and wallet out the car because I didn't want no one to know where I was. And
got to go about and get your phone called down.
I was like, fuck. I then went to, and then don't really know what happened. Apparently I ended up 26 miles away from my car. I was found. I think it was like 3 days later. I was on the news.
Fuck.
I was found 3 days later. I was all over Twitter, Instagram. Have you seen Dan? Like, family worried. I was found by a postman at the back of, I think, like a Curry's in the bins, basically, with one... I had a jacket, I swear, but I just woke up with a hoodie, one sock on, and one shoe on. I don't know what happened. Like, they said it was like PTSD, like obviously blocked out that memory. Basically I got put into hospital. I come out the other side of it, and
so when you crashed, attempted, let's say rolled, got to make some light humour of this. Did you just go and get on it?
So when because I didn't have no phone, I didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
I had 20 quid in my pocket, and all I remember is starting to walk. And I think I found a little off license, or like just like a newsagents that was selling night nurse, and that was the last thing I remember. I bought 2 bottles of night nurse, and down them I was hoping, obviously, that would see me off somewhere. And it was snowing. I thought I'd definitely die in the snow somewhere.
Fucking hell.
But I didn't. And a few days later, I woke up surrounded by my family.
At the hospital?
At the hospital. And then at home. Then I blanked out again. Then I woke up at home. And everyone trying to talk to me. And I was like, I didn't want to fucking talk to anyone about it. But I block out what my mum and dad were saying to me at that time, because I don't want to know what they were saying to me, because I know how much hurt that I'd caused. And and I had like doctors and therapists round by the side of my bed, and I was saying, no, I'm all right, like I'm going to get help, like. So I pretended to get help, and started again. I was really good at masking by then. I didn't tell anyone about anything. So I started like lying again. It was like easy. I just slipped back into pretending. After 4 months, my mum started letting me out of the house because I was like watched. Like I was on like watch, and I had planned all that time in those 4 months every day. The only thing that was getting me through was when I get out, I'm going to get stuff to fucking kill myself. So as soon as my mum started letting me go around to like the co-op and walking back round, I went round to 3 different chemists, 2 different off licenses, got as much stuff in a backpack that I could, took it back home, hid it under my bed because I was being watched. When everyone went to bed, I'd done the whole lot. And this time I really hurt myself. So yeah, I tried to take my life again. And this wasn't even the lowest point. Tried to take my life again. All I remember is waking up and wake up for like a split second, and my granddad lived around the corner, had me in a cold shower, and I was sitting in his lap, and he was holding me in a cold shower, like, what have you fucking done, Dan? Like, what have you done? Got rushed to hospital, got put on like I had to be resuscitated, got like put on drips and different things like to save my life, and I was hearing the doctors saying it's a miracle, still alive, and I remember this nurse coming around going, like, he's a good looking lad, he's got loads going for him, he works here, why would he do that to himself?
Means fuck all.
Yeah. And then a doctor come round and said, and he had a one-to-one conversation with me and said, do you need any help? I looked at my dad and he just nodded. I said, yeah, I do, I need some help. Like, I need some help with this. But I thought they were going to help me get better, like physically, because I didn't know that could be repaired.
Yeah.
And next thing I knew, there was a special ambulance at the hospital. It weren't like a normal ambulance. And they put me in the back of this ambulance. And Mum and Dad didn't get in the ambulance with me, so I thought it was a bit weird. And anyway, it was like, the doctor was like, we're just going to take you somewhere where we specialise in getting this help. And they took me to another hospital, well, what I thought was a hospital. And we got out of the car, Mum and Dad were in the car behind. They got out of the car, walked through these doors and get in, and they start checking me into this hospital. Who is it? And it was like, oh, it's Daniel Constable. And then these double doors open, and I turn around to my mum and dad, and they're like nodding, like, come on, go through the double doors. And as the double doors shut, my mum and dad were still on the other side of the double doors, and I was on the east side of the double doors, and they're locked. And I turned around, and there was like these 4 doctors in like white coats coming towards me. And it dawned on me in that point that I'd been sectioned and put in a hospital for people that are mentally ill. And I tried to punch one of the doctors. And I grabbed onto the doors and I was just screaming stuff at my mum and dad, like, you fucking betrayed me, like, how fucking dare you? That was the lowest point of my life.
Fuck. What was a realisation there?
Yeah.
How old are you?
26, 27. Yeah, I had... That moment there was like probably the most defining point of my life. It was either I do something about all of this shit or I am going to die. Mm. And seeing my mum and dad in floods of tears there, it still breaks my heart to this day. Like, I put them through that. So that's where I got sectioned under the Mental Health Act because I was a danger to myself and others, and put in a padded room.
Actual padded room.
Basically, it's not as bad as what you think the movies are, like the white walls. It's actually just like blue mattress, but no curtains, nothing. Nothing. You're not allowed to have razors, anything in there. And then you do go up and get your little medicine bucket in the morning, and then you kick your few pills, and then you just sit in front of a TV like a mong for a day.
Yeah.
That was me.
And so they were giving you meds?
Yeah.
Making you worse or?
Just numb.
Numb.
Just didn't have a thought, didn't have a feeling, didn't have anything. I was just...
Numb.
I was just a zombie now.
Yeah.
I was just lost.
Did you have any feeling? Did you have anything of... No.
No, I couldn't think anything.
And no clue of what's to come or what's going to happen. That just became the normal. Yeah,
it was just like... and I can't remember when, but I think it was like I come out after... I don't know how long.
Roughly?
It weren't long, it was a few weeks. A couple of weeks maybe. Yeah, a few weeks. But they said, like, if we keep feeding him these tablets... I wasn't feeling it. Like, I was literally dead. Like, I was a walking zombie. And we keep feeding him tablets. He'd be fine. Like, he can carry on like this, and we'll get the right sort of counselling for him. And I started having counselling to talk about my trauma and stuff. Which was my first ever time that I'd actually started speaking. Which was difficult. And I just started plodding through life for the next year or so. I got a job. Obviously got sacked.
They found out about you stealing?
Yeah. They knew that I stole. I hurt a lot of people.
Did they put a lot of trust in you?
Yeah, I was well respected, well trusted, and I held a lot of shame around that because I let so many people down, not just my family, but friends and colleagues that I actually adored, I loved, and but I needed to keep pretending to be this happy Dan that everyone saw me as, so they would still like me.
So at the job, that would probably say that was your first encounter with being accepted.
That with football.
Right, with football.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's mad, isn't it? Crazy.
Yeah.
So coming out of the hospital after being sectioned, what was the sort of first conversation you had with your mum and dad? Did you see red? Was you alright about it?
Good question.
A lot of people would hold a lot of hate and anger for that.
I tell you what, I did hold some resentment, but my resentment's only just come out probably about 2 years ago. It's taken me a while to dig up this shit because I still padded that down. Even counselling and therapy, it didn't work for a long time. It was so much fucking trauma to dig up. It didn't work for long periods of time. I met a girl when I was 27, after all this shit happened, and I decided to go cold turkey. I come off the drugs, all the stuff that they were giving me or fueling me with. So I come off everything, and I met a girl, and do you know what? For the next couple of years, life went all right.
Felt all right.
I felt all right. I was anxious every day. I was anxious, but I could say to people, I'm anxious. Like, I'm just anxious. I'm anxious all the time. I'm anxious every fucking minute of the day. But I'm telling you, I'm fucking anxious.
I'm anxious,
I'm fucking anxious. So
I say that to my dad. I'm fucking anxious. Just leave it.
Yeah. So it's a horrible feeling to have, but at least I was telling people I was fucking anxious.
Yeah. It's the first sign of opening up because you've never done it before.
Yeah. That relationship, it weren't a bad relationship, but what it did highlight is that I started seeing patterns where I could start seeing that I was so traumatised by the past that if that person she worked away a lot at the time. She went and worked away on like cruise ships and stuff. And any time she would leave the front door, I would be like an anxious, panicked fucking mess. Like, and that fear of loss from when I was a child was plaguing.
The abandonment and shit.
Yeah, abandonment. It started plaguing my whole life. And yeah, I was trapped still.
Scary because you don't see no way out. I've had that same thought process. If they take too long to text back, you're like, fuck, have they just done a
Yeah. Waiting for the 3 dots.
Have I pushed them to fucking, like, you know, maybe I'm too intense.
Yeah.
And you're constantly questioning yourself. It's like, well, if someone can treat me that badly and I'm treating someone that good, then they can leave my life as well. Phone watching.
Yeah.
That someone could literally say, you're like, they could say they love you and you're for 30 seconds, it's all right. And then after that, you're like, did they mean that or did they just say it to ease my anxiety?
Yeah, I would be constantly asking for affirmation.
Yeah,
like,
reassurance.
Do you love me? Do you really mean that you love me?
Reassurance. Or, or saying it just for them to say it back.
Yeah. Will you always be there?
Yeah.
And I would say that, and I would say to everyone, and to be honest, I still sometimes do now. Like, it's not just stopped, but it's an understanding of my anxiety comes from fear of abandonment.
Yeah, mine's exactly the same as that. Yeah, exactly the same.
It's not as bad. I don't ask for, do you love me always, every day?
Oh, we know in the bollocks now. It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll just, Nat, tell me you love me. She's like, I love you, baby. I'm like, yeah.
I don't seek it as much, but yeah, I only started to notice those patterns around my sort of 29, 30.
It's crazy because our parents are still together.
Yeah.
So it's mad because we've both had bad relationships, but you look at your parents and that's the normal. So when I've got a high standard of what a relationship should look like, and I'm so grateful I do have that with Nat now, and it is similar to them, but I only know how my dad's made my mum smile. I don't know arguments. I don't know rowing. I've never seen them do it, ever.
Nah.
But then to go into relationships, you know, where there are women out there that are a bit... I'll be careful of what I'm saying here, but that it is a bit conflict. And then that becomes your normal, even though you've grown up seeing something completely different. So you think, how have I gone into that situation when that's the normal to me? Yeah,
I mean, I spoke recently with a friend about this situation because he went through a similar situation with abusive relationships. But I said I walked up until I was turned 30, mistaking anxiety for love.
It's an addiction, isn't it? It's just the feeling of it. Like, because I used to think, like, oh, is this normal? Is it normal to feel on edge? Is it normal to, you know, with them not feel the energy's meant?
Yeah.
Is it normal to feel nervous before they turn up?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I used to think the exact same. I used to think, that can't be love.
Absolutely. And I felt... I remember when getting with my now partner, Katie, that I...
The sass queen.
Yeah, when I felt fucking comfortable. It was like in our early stages. But I was like... I left her, she went on a night out or something, and I was thinking... And I remember having a conversation with her before. Look, this is the first time you're going on a night out. You're my first actual serious girlfriend since I've discovered all this shit about me. It may trigger me. And I remember going out, I was sitting watching the boxing with one of my mates, and we're sitting there on the sofa, and he went, "Are you all right?" He went, "You look uncomfortable." And I went, "Yeah, I am fucking uncomfortable." And he went, "What do you mean? Why are you uncomfortable?" And I was like, "I'm not anxious."
Because I know I should be panicking.
Yeah, why am I not anxious about her? Why is she gone away? And I don't feel like this is I feel uncomfortable feeling comfortable. Like I was like, this is fucking weird.
Because the anxiety becomes an addiction.
Yeah.
Because you don't know any different.
Yeah, I've only known a relationship as anxiety. Yeah. And I think that's with all attachments for me. Every single attachment since I was 5 years old as a kid, as that little inner child, attaching onto my parents and fear of abandonment had played out and caused me to feel suicidal. Because I was just anxious of losing anyone that was around me.
And then you don't become yourself. You just evolve into this needy, codependent child that's... I always found myself doing more for people than I ever needed to.
Yeah.
Like 5, 6 big things a day.
And that ridiculous.
Just because I might send like a text of like vulnerability in hoping that they just agreed.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, my anxiety goes to 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And then because it doesn't connect with me properly, it comes back out again, and I'm like, for fuck's sake.
I need more.
I need more.
Yeah.
And more and more and more.
Yeah.
But then in hindsight, all you do is naturally push them people away.
Absolutely. And I actually kept asking those questions, even to my mum and dad. Have I pushed you away during this situation? This is not just girlfriends that this was playing out with. It was actually all my relationships. Have I pushed you away? Are you going? Like, I was questioning everyone.
Yeah. Are you all right? Is everything all right? Is everything all right? Yeah,
can I do something? Can I buy you this? Can I get an affirmation? If I buy you this, will you stay there?
Yeah, 100%. I was like, if I do this and I overreach, are you still going to be a part of my life? You're not going nowhere. Same with family.
Yeah, absolutely. That's probably been some of the biggest life lessons for me. That if I actually just always showed up as unapologetically me from day one.
Just a built-up fucking
cycle,
madness, isn't it? The turning point with... You've blown me away on that, and lost my train of thought a bit. So you've come out of the hospital, you've gone into a job, the relationship.
Yeah.
Drug use, drinking, did that go? Did you have to go to meetings? Because I know people will be watching this thinking, how the fuck do I get out of this, right?
No, I carried on.
Carried on.
Yeah, but it was under control. So...
Was it, or was that naive?
Difficult one. And the reason that I say control was it... If I was doing it, I was doing with a group of friends that were actually my friends, and we were just going out for a laugh.
Yeah.
But just to feel like I'm still part of that group of friends.
Did your friends know what you went through? Because
they did, drugs? And they always asked the same question, like, because it wouldn't. Look, the situation, the times that I did do, I'll have slip ups, were once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
They weren't consistent, but I still did I still touch drugs? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Do I touch drugs? No. I've got like loads of respect for myself.
Yeah.
But at the time I still wanted to be part, I still wanted to have friends. Like, they were going out on Friday night. Like, that ex-girlfriend was away for like 3 months. So I was like, well, I've got to go out. So, yeah. So
then when was the relationship with your family sort of rebuilt? Because obviously your brothers were they doing well at school? And
brothers have done both very well in life, and I'm very proud of them both. They have got the definition of success. They met both their partners at a young age, young families, the mortgage, the lot. So they done, and I think that added a lot to the pressure. Like, I was older than them, and they
were achieving more.
They were achieving more.
Would you see yourself as the problem child?
Yeah, in those 20s, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was definitely the one that caused the most pain.
And what do you think that was because you didn't really have any direction from a young age?
I think it's because I followed other people's direction.
To fit in?
Yeah.
Mad, innit?
Like, if I followed... You look back to that 5-year-old boy who liked creating and just drawing pictures and stuff like that. If I followed those instincts right from the word go and just stuck with them, I would have been fine. I think I would have been fine. But to be honest, I wouldn't be the person I am today without all of this. I'm grateful for every bit of scarring that I've had. I'm fucking grateful for, because I believe now, and it's the first time I can sit and tell you, I can tell anyone, I'm a fucking good person. You know, like, I am proud of myself from where I have been. Like, I showed myself no self-love. Trust me, I hated me more than you could. The people that I hurt, and if they did dislike me at the time, I hated me more than they could ever hate me. You know? But now I've done so much work to get to this point. Like, I enjoy being in my own skin now.
See, it's unbelievable. Whereas before, the confidence just wouldn't have been there.
No. Like, I was triggered to do this with you today. And I'll tell you for why. There was a time when I was 15. I enjoyed speaking. I enjoyed getting up and speaking to an audience. And I remember being at school and asked to speak in front of it was like a parents' evening or something like that. And I'd done a speech at the time, and I got a standing ovation from all the parents at the time. And I come away from that, and actually what that caused was me getting my head kicked in the next day. So when I sat here, just before I started with you, I was like, fucking hell, I could feel that trigger just... It's the first time I've spoken publicly. I feel like publicly. Instagram, I can hide behind the post a little bit still, but this feels like it's public. And it was slightly triggering before I got on it, because I just remembered that first. But it's good for me to have awareness for that.
Wait until I do my first event, bro. I'm gonna have you up there with a microphone, mate, and no one will be kicking your fucking head in after.
Yeah.
I think that's so powerful for you to say that you wouldn't change anything because you wouldn't be the person you are today.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't be so grateful for everything that happens in my life now. Every lesson, every hardship that I go through, or even if I have a really tough day, I write in my journal every day, I'm grateful for today, because that's just taught me something that I didn't know yesterday. And I'm really grateful for that. Life is so fucking precious, and I think where I've got more appreciation for it is because I nearly wasted it or nearly terminated it. I tried to clock out early, and that wasn't designed for me. So now it's a blessing.
Absolute blessing. So you've gone from wanting to leave the world, mate, to feeling on top of it.
Yeah. And I'm starting to... and the more confident I grow into my skin, the more my life attracts the right relationships, the right people. I've met so many amazing new people since I found my feet. Like that geek and that geek I talk about so publicly.
I wish I was a fucking nerd.
Yeah, I love all my comic books, but even now I'm happy to tell people I'll take myself on a date to the cinema on my own. I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
that makes me happy.
Yeah, there is a big stigma. Honestly gives? I couldn't care less what people are doing. I couldn't give a fuck.
No.
I don't have the energy to care. I'm too busy.
Yeah, it's just that stigma of being able to. You don't, if it's especially for men growing up in the surroundings that we have, you feel like the only way to be accepted is if you do really masculine things.
Yeah, and cool stuff.
Yeah. Or play football, drink beer, go to a rave.
Sleep with loads of women.
Yeah,
it's mad.
Abusive traits.
Yeah, it's fucked.
And actually, the traits that really bring you joy, I enjoy travel. I enjoy creating.
Yeah,
I've only just found out that I really enjoy writing at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, unreal.
But it's like a connection with deep self. But I would never, me and you at 21, I would never go, Brad, while we're down the pub, probably sniffed half a gram. I really enjoy fucking writing because you just laugh at me.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
It was toxic environment, toxic masculinity.
I was very much like that when I was younger. I ended up fucking doing 6 seasons away because if you didn't work abroad in the summer, or if you was a lad and didn't sleep with loads of women and drink or play rugby, to me you was no one.
Yeah. And
I had that small mindset, but I was so arrogant because that was me trying to tell myself that I am living a good, cool lifestyle. When in hindsight, I'm just going down a fucking well bad path. Or
absolutely.
I used to think, when I was doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing to make money, it was you work 9 to 5, you're a mug. And I'm just mate, you sit in the car every weekend ruining people's lives. But I was and I was kidding myself every single time. Yeah. And you talk yourself into, you do live a normal life. And in hindsight, the complete opposite. Waking up hungover, that shouldn't... People joke about it, shock, another hangover. It's that shouldn't be normal.
No, it shouldn't be.
Waking up before your alarm, fucking listening to the birds and seeing the sunrise, that's good.
Yeah, that is really good. That is really healthy.
Yeah, that's it. It's mad. We've both absolutely abused the fuck out of our bodies.
I'm surprised mine still. I'm very grateful for my body.
Yeah, not many.
It's gone through fucking hell.
Yeah, proper. mental when you think about it, and it's all because of other people. Like, it's not because other people forced us, it's because we've tried to fit in with other people. When, mate, if you were just your creative self, bruv, you'd probably have a job at Google or something.
Yeah, I probably would have done all right in life. But I've done, do you know what? I've done fucking better than that.
You have
now.
done, yeah, 100%.
I really sincerely believe that. And I think it's important for everyone. The key to life is self-acceptance.
Yeah, massively. But it's the hardest thing to do.
Absolutely. But if you stay true and don't let anyone from as young as any age direct you any differently, like, just stay true to that purpose that was calling you from a kid. That is where you should be headed. That is your gut as a kid. That is your gut telling you where to go. Like, do not let anyone else tell you anything different. That's what you should. That's the path you should be following.
But it has such an impact on us. Now, like, no, I can sit here, Barry Big Bollocks, like, no, nothing. As a kid, the littlest one word, one sentence would change everything.
Absolutely.
Stuff you've grown up loving, doing with your family, you thinking so cool at Christmas, as soon as you go to school, it all goes out the window.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that is the power of other people's energy that they can have you. But again, from a young age, when you're at school, when they teach you certain things, when do you learn to channel it and be proud of what you're doing?
Well, I mean, I think, like, education should be treated like a little bit different, because I think a lot of people's purpose or what they're good at doesn't get put into maths, English, geography, history.
No, school's an academy for people to just go into the system. That's
to be a worker.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's wrong, because there's look at the world and how vast, the creativity could potentially be. Like, I think everyone's got a purpose when they're designed for this life.
And it's crazy that there's a pattern out there that it takes a breakdown. It takes for you wanting to leave this world to realise what your purpose is. When coming into the world, your purpose should just unfold in front of you. But we seem to get so low in life that until we actually want to kill ourselves and we don't want to live anymore, and we're having these negative thoughts, and the only thing to live for now is like, shit, I'm either going to kill myself because I don't want to live anymore and I'm so sad. But then you find a purpose after a breakdown. It's like breakdowns create breakthroughs. Makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
But it takes you to get so low to find what you want to do in life.
Absolutely. And, like, I don't know. I'm, as you know, and I'm documenting at the moment, that I'm taking some time out of life to create something that I'm going to be proud of. But it's also to find find purpose and meaning. But it's taken me all of that to say, right, I'm going to allow myself now and not let other people's fears project onto me. Like, my mum's, my dad's, bless them, they only know one way.
Yeah.
Do you know?
They're
just scared. Like, for me, like, I'm only starting to set the boundaries with everyone. Like, no, this is what I want to do, and this is where, because I've done all right. Like, I've just started. I just had my own recruitment business for 2 years. I was doing well, but I decided that's not for me. Like, the more confident I get, I keep ripping up the script, and I'm like, I'm fine to start again. Yeah. I'm 30. I'm in my 30s. Oh, fuck it, I'm gonna start again.
30's only seen as an old age because of what we see in media. When if you think about it, like, you've still got double what you've already lived left. Say you live to 90, you've still got 60 years.
Yeah.
Like, 30's young. It's just as soon as you're at 28, 29, it's like, fuck, you don't know what you want to do with your life. Who gives a shit? People like Walt Disney, Oprah Winfrey, all of them types of people had no J.K. Rowling. They all had setbacks until their, like, late 30s.
Exactly. And I've just got to follow that gut at the moment.
But this is the beauty of it. It's like, now your impact is like, every single thing you've been through is now like the reason why you're going to be helping so many other people, because them lessons that you've been through and the mistakes that you've made is now just, I know for a fact you're going to do exactly what I've done, just offer a service that you wish you had.
Yeah, absolutely. And someone that's, I hope, that is relatable, and wipe away stigma. Like, I think it's really good, the mental health movement at the moment, but I still think there's so much stigma around suicide. Like, and if you say suicide, that's a bit strong.
So true. Like, it's mad. Why do you think that is?
Just because I think people still see it as a selfish act. And
a lot of people would say if you're like suicide, then it's like you're selfish leaving your family, or if parents leaving the kids.
Ultimately, it is. If you looked at it that way, it is that you could say it's selfish, but it's because we're not taught how to navigate mental health from a young age. Why is that not being taught by fucking anyone from a youngster?
It's only really, I would say, coming to the light. Obviously, years of, bullying, social media, the pressures of life. Anxiety wasn't anything.
No.
My dad, when I told him about anxiety, he's like, what are you on about? You'll be all right tomorrow. And then it took me to sit at the end of the bed crying my eyes out to my mum, and they were like, this cocky, arrogant, happy-go lad is absolutely down in tears. And that was the first thing. And I remember I left the pub once, and my dad finally understood. He just turned to my mum and was like, is that his anxiety? And she's like, yeah, social situations, just can't be in it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
There's so much stigma for like men with unhealthy comparisons. Like, me and you have gone on a path of trying to be a success because we have compared, but men don't talk about the comparisons. Like, you see women, like, there's a good movement for women at the moment with, like, including what Katie's doing, like, not to compare yourself to other women. Us men fucking do it just as fucking much, but no one talks about it.
Every lad has definitely looked on social media and gone, fucking hell, I wish I looked like that, or wish I had that car, wish I had that Rolex, fuck me, wish I could be able to just live my family in that big house, like. And it's mental because you're just on your journey. It doesn't matter how much you wish for something, and you're never going to get the exact life as someone else, so just fucking live yours. Like, comparison is the killer of joy. If I compared myself to every other life coach out there, I'd be static.
Absolutely.
And you have to train your brain, like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone else is up to. Like, if you're winning, fair fucking, even if I don't know you, I'm singing for you. Because at the end of the day, like, you attract that energy back.
So I've only got one goal in life, like, as my life goal. And that is to get to a place where I didn't give no fucks whatsoever. That is my only life goal. No fucks whatsoever. I want to get to a point where I don't give a fuck about any, like, don't give a fuck.
Are you near?
No. Nowhere near.
The honesty on this, lad.
No. Nowhere near. But that's where I want to get to.
It's a fun place to be.
Yeah.
I've done it because I think I have just got... Growing up, there's just been so much hate and shit, and it's just got to the point, like, it's not I've trained my way of doing it, just get fed up of it and just laugh about it now. Do you know what I mean? You still get some. I think the only thing is like, I craved my dad to tell me, because ever since I stopped playing for England in rugby and I went down to do it with a shit part, my dad, I never heard the word proud, so I craved that. And then as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, I need to prove nothing to no one. Next, that's it. And it's the next thing, and the next thing. But living with a life of not caring, it's not a front. It's just, you should never have to worry about what people... Like, my close circle, never leave a restaurant, never leave a group chat or anything like that and think, I wonder what they think of me.
Yeah.
Because the right people around you just take you for you.
Absolutely. And it doesn't... Until you start owning that quality or owning that about yourself, you won't attract the right relationships or have the right circles around you. So the sooner you can take control of that, then the universe will start using its magic powers and bring other people into your life or experiences into your life that will help you find purpose and meaning.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to break away from groups, relationships, jobs, and paths that they've built up in life? When we know, obviously, if you look into a higher power, like, everything comes to you.
Acceptance. In one, like, I think it's hard for us to break away because you don't think there's anything on that other side for you, like toxic groups or toxic situations that no longer serve you. I think there is comfort in the toxicity.
It's nice to know that it's there rather than there might not be anything there.
I can go and do the things that make me feel fucking quite shit about myself, but at least I've got that.
Because it's going to be surrounded by 10 other people that feel shit about themselves.
Yeah.
Mad when you think about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Dan, I think...
Thanks, mate.
What a fucking story, mate. I hope you feel well. Thank you so much for being so open and sharing some bits that you hadn't shown up there. And yeah, well, that is wowed me.
Cheers, mate.
Inspiring. You should be so fucking proud of yourself. It's true, there's not many people that would have taken what you've done or gone through what you've gone through and been able to sit here now. And selfishness, most people would be selfish to think, I just need to live for me now, but your journey's about helping other people avoid what you went through. Mathematically, you shouldn't be here today.
No.
Your tolerance is a madness.
I am a miracle.
How's the relationship with your mum and dad now?
Best ever.
Best ever.
Yeah, and I've just done some deep work, to do with my dad. I held some resentment there from when I was 15, 16, and he was like, just go down the path that I did. He put me down. I didn't mean to hold that against him, but I have.
Yeah.
So but it's good. It's really good now. I accept that my dad's my dad, and I've got many of the qualities that trigger the fuck out of that trigger me about him, like him moaning or being grumpy or having those days. I have those fucking qualities. I can be a grumpy little kid.
My dad, my mum was like, oh, it's just your dad. And then I'll be with Nat, and she's like, what are you grumpy about? And I'll find something, I can't find the remote or something. And I'm like, I'm my fucking dad. I'm driving and I'm going, who's parked there? And I'm like, Brad, no, you're not.
So it just makes me more grateful for him, and I'm grateful for the qualities he has given me, because he's given me a lot more fucking good than the flip side. So I'm very grateful for that, because I know not everyone is blessed with that situation.
Yeah, massively. Thank you for sharing and being so inspiring, bro. Honestly, blown me away, mate.
Thanks for having me,
blown
mate.
Me away. And if you are watching this and you've been through domestic violence or any sort of mental health where you have thought about ending your life, please reach out to someone, a professional, friends, whoever it is. Just make sure you get it done. There shouldn't be any stigma around it. I'll drop that in there. Melior means for the pursuit of the better in life. So I ask all my guests, how do you plan on pursuing the better in life moving forward?
I want to dedicate my life to helping people find purpose and meaning by being unapologetically you.
That's a fucking I help statement and a half, that is.
Yeah.
Dan, what's the Instagram and business, the coaching that you're going to be going into?
So Instagram is I am proudly me. I've got a launch happening next month.
Is happening. I'm edging this geezer to coaching. Driving me mad. I just want him out there. I want to be able to go, Dan, I've got a client for you. Fucking take it.
That will help men on if they've gone a similar path, or women are down a similar path, and just promoting that message of fighting stigma.
I think this will be so relatable to so many, I think, with the pressures of life. But thank you again, Dan.
Thanks for making me feel comfortable, mate.
That's all right, mate. As always, thank you for watching. We really, really appreciate it. And share, comment, subscribe, and please push this into the path of someone that you may feel benefit from it. Thank you for watching. Many a fucking movement, baby.
Melly a movement, baby.